Right, okay. So quick workshop today. I just did a very few minutes storyboard, a very quick story. It will be like this. Someone says, "Oh, we are trapped," and then the next person says, talking to someone, I have an idea." Then he runs to the wall. So the camera, as you see, I said that shot 3. So that's long shot, a 2 shot, runs to the wall. We pan the camera, and then we see that she or he approaching the wall, and then cut. We go outside, and we see that the wall is just like shattered and broken, and the person just come out of the wall. Okay, a very quick, easy visual effects shot. So there's 4 shots in it. So what we have is how many cameras we do have. We have 4 cameras, 2 tight shots, 2 medium shots. So what we can do, so actors, raise your hand who want to act. 1, next person. 2, thank you so much, come here. So, yeah, so that's your storyboard. Go and practice. So we go. So these are the number of shots. So the filming session is pretty clear. We have 2 people talking. You come here, please. So 2 people talking. So 1 camera looking at me, 1 camera looking at her in a medium shot. So, but we're going to use 4 cameras for these 4 shots. However, you can do all of that with 1 camera, as you're aware. We just want to save time, okay? 1 camera pointing to her, 1 camera pointing to me, 1 camera looking at both of us, okay? So that's camera 1, shot 2, and the 3rd shot is looking at both of them. Thank you so much. 3rd shot looking at both of them, because the 3rd camera is going to do a bit of panning. So that's the 3rd camera. The 4th camera will be outside. I just want to, good morning, be on time, please. Otherwise, you lose a lot of, so can you secure that over there? So the 4th camera will be looking like here. So the person should like smash and come out of the shot. The only VFX shot we have is shot number 4, which the wall is going to be shattered apart and the person just jump out of it. So our trick is we're going to record the person here. And then I'm going to take a sample of the texture of the wall, because this is a very boring, repetitive wall. So the textures get repeated. So I take the texture of that and paint here. So this door becomes like a wall. And when the person jumps out, it seems that it jumps out of the wall. Then what I would do is that, because if the person jumps out of here, we have to be able to remove the background, because the background is fake. So what we can do, we will film the superhero that smashes through the wall in front of green screen. So shot 4 is 3 layers. The background, which is empty. The foreground, which is one of them running in front of green screen, and also the wall layer, which is just a texture. Okay, so let's set up the camera. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and camera 4. So the same way that I explained. So who's going to run?
I'll be the guy that screams, we're trapped. And
okay.
we're going to run through the wall.
Oh, okay, you have the idea. So before he's starting, look at your notes for filming. Look at the section that says, no principles of filming for green screen. Avoid shades of green. So he doesn't have green, but there's a bit of like dark green on his shirt, which is fine. It's very different than that. Number 2, like, is there any reflecting thing like on their costume? No, it's fine. So avoid like that watch. Well, so you come here, please. Look at look at her watch. Hold it. See how much green is in it. So when the keying or process of removing a green screen, thank you so much, happens, a lot of her wrist will go away. So avoid reflecting things. So we avoided that. So, okay, group number, so which group is without a camera? Okay, come here, you set up the light. So there's, come on, fast. So there's no time for thinking or meandering or lingering. So use the tripods. So we have to set up some lights like that casting on their bodies because we need a rule number 4. Add a good rim of warm light around. So you see, one of the notes says add a good rim of warm light around the actor. So to be able to separate them from the background, I'm adding a bit of lighting. So they are setting up the lights. The lights will be here. Okay. So camera number 1, look at him. Camera number 2, look at him. Both camera number 1 and number 2 will be tight. So camera number 1 and 2 should be as far away as possible to be able to zoom into their faces. But camera number 3 will be in the middle. So 1, 2, 3 in the middle in a wide angle to be able to see them in action. All the cameras will be, what is it called? Eye level. Why eye level is important? Because that's the natural way of us looking at each other. But if someone would be very tall, we look at in a high angle. Okay? Or if you're looking at a baby, you look at low angle. Okay? Camera number 4, please set it up in eye level. All the cameras eye level. That's not the right way of setting up the camera. Make sure, yes. Open all of that. Okay, so I set up one of the cameras, camera number 3. So you just go over the tripod and everything. Sorry about that. Yeah. So your tripod comes with all the arms and handles. So you just have to make sure that the tripod is as secure as possible. So you open and adjust it. You open all the locks. Adjust the level. Let's say that's a good eye level. It's like around my neck. Okay. Now we lock it. So you lock all the tripods. So the camera is secure, but so the next thing that is important is that, so you see that over there in here, you can film here, Leslie. So there's a tiny bubble moving around. So that bubble should be, so like you see it here, the bubble is here. So this is a leveling bubble here. So that leveling bubble, which is here in the middle, it should be right in the middle, okay? So that's why you have to make sure that you level your camera in a way that this bubble would be in the middle. So that's why. So some cameras, you have to do it through like adjusting. So some tripods like this one, if you show this one, Leslie, this one has a handle in the middle. You loosen it, and then the head, be very careful. The head is adjustable. You adjust the head, and you tighten that back. So this camera, which is camera 3, it's sorry. This camera, which is number 3, is gonna do like panning. So you see that. So you always lock all the parts. So here you see that is for fluidity of panning. This one on the side is for, I think here, or let me unlock it. This this camera was not secured. That's one negative point. I secure it now for you. I just want to make sure that it's locked properly. So you see that like it doesn't shake. So let me just rotate that around this for more security of the camera. So tilting, panning, as we discussed. The camera is level. Let me see. So this one is adjusted by this handle here. I would like to. This is not the best tripod I'm interested in. It's the other ones are a lot more comfortable when working. Actually, I can. Anyway, okay, I'm going to lock it. So you need and so I leave it to you to adjust it. We need a nice panning for both of them. Can you clean this area so when you move to the wall, it would be like empty? So you can move them here. Okay, so. So that was how to set up the camera, okay? So when all the cameras are ready, yes? Okay, I'll come over. When all the cameras are ready, I will come back and talk about how to use the camera, how to turn on, how to adjust the different settings in the camera, because we all will film in manual mode, okay? So the lighting artists, what we need is, so if you stand towards them, yes. So what we need is a warm cast of light around each one of them. So, hello. So when you're, so this one should go up, and the head should look at the actor, both of you. So and instead of like this, you can just come like slightly, one here, one there. So that's you the same way, head up, and then the head starting to look back down, which is by, so you can see that here, hey, lighting artists, so I can loosen up the head and just rotate it slightly from, oh, yeah, you can see that I can, rotate the head a bit and then tighten up it again. I would like to, this one is not secured. So, yeah, make sure that this one is secured. Oh. Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Yeah, make sure. I think that's enough, and make sure that it's it's as strong as possible. So there's a dimmer behind it. We rotate it and make sure that it's as strong as possible. Okay, we'll check the cameras. I missed a very, very important note. Please write that down here for yourselves. And that one is, I write it for that group, is make sure your shot is in focus. So I write in focus. So how you can make sure that the shot is in focus? So there's a ringing on your lens that you can make sure that your shot is in focus. So this is a tight shot, so it's easy to make sure that the shot is in focus. So what I would do, I would go here and then I will, so if you come here, Leslie, and look at so first thing first, if you stand, so it's good to have like, yes, good one here. That's for you. Tell me, the operator, tell me when that light will go away. Just the light. Is not in the shot. Here. Okay, so is he, so come here, so is he like in the shot now?
Yeah, not centered, but he
No, he should not be centered. So that's my point. Okay, good. So that's for you. And okay, if you think of a cross, if that would be a cross, you should be like somewhere like here. Closer, yeah. So, and both lights should be in the scene or not. Look at it. Okay, so we need to move, I'm so sorry, we need to move both lights back to the side so we don't have them in the shot. So, what I'm saying now is that when we look at this frame, I give a bit of space in front of that person because that person is talking to this person. And the other person I give, so like what I will see a frame for the jeans guy is that I will leave some space in front on the left. And for the Hoffer guy, Shaz and Tien. For Shaz, sorry, I'm terrible with the names. It takes me almost, well, just take for granted I never learn your name, sorry. So for Shaz, I will have the frame in a way that he's on the left of the frame and I leave some room to the right. But the middle camera will look at both of them. Okay. We'll look at both of them and actually unlock it. And it's good to you cover.
Just the black lines.
Yeah. So, okay. So this one actually you can get slightly closer. Okay, I think we are ready for these cameras. So how to make sure that the middle one is in focus? Actually, it's not in focus. So what I do, I zoom in, and then then you just focus, you see?
Yep.
See, it's in focus now. Then you zoom out to the right amount. Okay, I think we can lower down the head one more. Lighting is amazing. You can come out of the scene now. Thank you so much. So, no, lighting. You're not the lighter, you're the actor. So, Shaz. So, so those cameras are set up. Okay. Let's look at the notes. Do you have all? Please be on time. So, have you got the notes? And do you have the notes and the call sheet? Okay, go with your teammates. Is there anyone without a team here? Okay, is there any 3-member team? Okay, so what are you good at? Filming, modeling, 3D.
Yeah, I've kind of done modeling and filming.
Have you done any modeling? So she's good at modeling. Would you like to Accept her as part of your team. Okay, you have a team now. You have a new family over there. Okay. So, whose one is this? It's mine. Okay, cool. So, so let's go over all these notes before the filming starts. So we have a bunch of things we have to be aware of that. So first thing first is safety. Be aware of all the hazards in shooting scenes. So there are plenty of hazards. Someone who left this bag on the middle is creating a hazard. Yes, please, thanks. So you look around, especially about the good thing about the LED lights is that you can have them on the battery. So, but in a filming scene, there are a lot of cables on the floor. So those are tripping hazards. You have to secure them. You have to tape them on the floor. Make sure that they are secured. So put on closed shoes. So like if so it's winter, which is happily everyone has closed shoes, but that type of shoes that our new member has is a good shoe for filming, which has a solid front. So the reason is there are a lot of heavy things that you move around, and just one could, well, actually, I was close to amputating one of my fingers because a massive light as big as that just dropped on it. I was the lighting artist in the scene. So put on closed shoes. Check all the electrocution hazards. So there are a lot of electricity all around, and you just have to make sure that you are aware of them. Don't put something wet on the plug. So, and know the nearest medical center. What is the nearest medical center to here? Yeah, thank you. So have some kind of planning, okay? So don't say, hey guys, let's go filming, and say, yay, and then tomorrow you come together. Okay, what we should do? No, that's not gonna happen. Best things are call sheets. So I have given you an example of my own project call sheet. This is one way of planning. It's not the way of planning. So in a call sheet like this, you can see that. So first thing first, so the location, and also one of the things is I have mentioned here is the nearest hospital or medical center. So this is the sheet that you share among yourselves before the filming begins, so you know which shot you start with, then which shot comes next, and then after that. Each member of each crew or cast and crew, each one of them, know when they have to show up. If you're going to film an old lady that you need it for just one single shot, you might say, we will film that shot instead of like 6 a.m. in the morning, like at 12, because we can go all over all the shots, and she arrives at 11. So you see that one of the parts says that, at what time, what person should arrive. So, and then, list of the crew, who does what, and their phone number, their email, and what time they have to meet. So you see that here, most of the team were the last part. Most of the team we were meeting at a cafe in the morning. We had breakfast and then start the project. But our actors, you see that, mocap advisor at the end. You see that they showed up at 10 a.m. So this was like a mocap shooting session. You talk about what time do you eat, what time do you finish. So you do all the planning and then begin. So have a planning. So that's a very, very important. So know your gears. So these are 5D Mark II cameras, amazing cameras. That was actually. So I bought them when I bought one of them. I had one of them when it was, so that's Mark III actually. But the Mark II ones were the first serious DSLR for filming. They're great. So watch a couple of videos on how to use them, read their manuals, know the sensor. A visual effects supervisor or visual effects artist, if you are planning to be, all of them are good at filming. They know cinematography. I've been DP for a while. So understand why. Why does it matter? Because day and night you work with films and footage, and you have to understand lenses, sensors, different sensitivity of different sensors and different codecs and all sort of things that a proper cinematographer knows. Well, you might not end up like become Roger Dickens or all these like cinematographers, but you will have a solid knowledge about filming. So know the sensor, read about it. What is the size of this sensor? What is the sensitivity? Know the base ISO. Each sensor has a sensitivity, and one number is the base ISO, and that's the best number for filming. For this camera is 800. So turn that on and set the ISO to 800 when we go back to start filming. So do some test shots at home at night. Take the camera home, do some test shots, and make sure that the camera works and you know how to operate it and you don't break it. Understand the focal length and the specification of your lenses. So this is a 24 to 150 lens, which you will use for most of your work because it starts from relatively wide to relatively tight. But sometimes you are in a very tight room like this size, and then you need a very wide lens. We have a wide lens at Lone Central, so you might need that one for tight spaces or very wide angle shots. Review the required lenses for each shot. So that's what we did now. So we just discussed, okay, this is a medium shot or a close-up, so we need a tight lens. Happily, this is a zoom lens which has both wide and tight together. You already know about that there are prime and zoom lenses. If you don't know, I have copied a video and a slideshow on week 2 that says what is a camera, and that's me talking about cameras and what is the difference between cameras, what is aperture, what is shutter speed, and all of that for 2 hours. So boring, but so important. So and then you review the required camera movement equipment for each shot. So as you have got the notification this morning, I have updated the brief. No moving camera for the VFX shots. So that camera outside for shot 4 is a VFX camera, isn't it? So these ones are just cinematic cameras. So that's why I moved that one. I like to have a nice pan. So you can move the shots, the cameras that are not VFX cameras. But for VFX cameras, have it static and not moving. So it removes the process of tracking, so I don't want you to go through the process of tracking. I just realized it might be too much for 6 weeks, and you're at the beginning of your road. You will do a lot of tracking next year if you come to VFX. And the tracking is convoluted and complicated, so that's why I thought that it's better to be pushed back for the next year. So no static, no moving camera for this year. So, okay, prepare your gears last night. So one of the jobs that each one of you will do is to look at the lens. If it's dirty, if you don't clean it with your cloth or a tissue, or no. Like if you have a soft cloth which is inside each one of those camera bags, or if you're wearing glass like me and you have specific cloth for cleaning up the optics, then use that for the lenses. Always okay. So that's clean up the lenses, make sure there's no dust on sensor. How do you understand that? At night, you record a white wall, and you then send the video on your computer and watch it. If on the white wall, you see like a spot of dust that travels with the movement of the camera, it means that the sensor has a dust on it. So you have to clean up the sensor. Cleaning up the sensor is not washing it. It's a really intricate process. So don't do it by your own. Ask if you've had a camera and you have cleaned the sensor, go for it. If you didn't, ask an expert. Make sure the tripod and all the camera gears that you're going to work, all the lights, turn them on and off. Make sure they work. Make sure that nothing is broken on the tripods. Have your gears organized and categorized. So say that lights here, cameras here, tag them, name them, list them. So we have one camera, we have one tripod and 3 lights. We have a zoom recorder and blah, blah, blah. So you just make sure that you have a list, because, filming session, as you know, is chaotic. So you just go and film, and then on your way back home, you just say, where's the camera? We just left it on the shooting scene. I did it once. And imagine where. It was in the middle of a massive square in Istanbul. And then on our way back, I said, where's the camera? And then I went back, and it was there happily. People were walking around without noticing that the camera, there's a bag of, yeah. So, so each line, I learned it the hard way, but I'm sharing with you. So, protect your gears. So this is very important. So if I want to, so all the cameras are off. Please make sure that it's off. If you want to change the battery, if you want to change the lens, anything. So make sure the camera is off, and then you change it. If you want to put a gel on your lens, on your LEDs, make sure the light is off, put the gel, and then turn it on. So please have this attitude that things should be unplugged for changes, because there's the danger of electrocution first, to the danger of, for a camera there's no electrocution because the current is so weak, but you will break the camera if you just happily most cameras nowadays you can swap the SD or CF cards while it's on, but please don't do that either. So turn the camera off, open, you can look at here, Leslie, turn the camera off. Is that off? Okay, and then take the CF out and transfer the file and put that back on, and then turn the camera on. So don't unplug anything when the device is on. Okay, especially that is very important when your camera or gears is connected to the currency, like AC currency, power. Be gentle when fitting SD or CF cards. So there's no hard way of doing that. Everything is so intricate and gentle. So when you want to swap the CF, just press that, it shows up. So there's a direction of how to put that back on. So sometimes you might end up putting this. So I'm doing it now. You want to put that back on, but you realize, it doesn't fit in. There's no hard way of that. You don't push it, okay? Think. Look at the guides here. It's very subtle. Bang, that's it. So everything in filmmaking clicks. So just say, did it click? It means changing the lens, let's say. So these lenses don't have cap on. That's a fault. So you see that one of the notes here is that have lens cap. So in the protect your gear section, have lens cap on all the time. It should be on, because breaking a lens is so easy. I broke some. So when you want to change the lens, you hold the button, you rotate it, and you make sure that the sensor doesn't get lost. You change the lens, red to red, and then rotate, clicks. Everything in filmmaking clicks, okay? So you make sure that nothing is just by, by a brute force. Nothing in filmmaking gears. Cameras should be secured and make sure that. So if this is a filming camera and people go around, you have seen you use sandbags around those legs that nobody just but it's as easy as somebody tripping, the whole thing will fall and break. Secure cameras. Principles of filming green screen. Okay, we talked about that. They don't have any shade of green in their clothing. They don't have any reflective material. So they have a good distance from the green screen. But actually, this is not a green screen shot. This is an actual scene. We filmed one of them in front of green screen. When we get there, so you usually, this is a terrible distance with the green screen. You can come close, Leslie. Okay. So this is a terrible distance with green screen. The reason is, of course, I'm a terrible subject for the green screen too. But let's ask Shaz to come here. Even though, so if you look at his skin tone and dark costumes, even though it's dark, it should be absolutely without. Should be easy to, but I see a lot of green reflected on him yet. So a good distance with the green screen is always preferred. That's why you see in productions they have massive green screens, and the actors stand have a couple of meters away because of this green reflection back on the body of the actors. Then when it's time for filming him, Tien for running to the wall and jumping in front of green screen, we will move those warm lights. Can you stand here and look to us? So you see that he has a nice rim of light around him. So do you see that nice rim of light? This is a separator. This helps us to separate him from the background. Why warm? Because background is a cold color, so I make it warm to do the separation. Avoid shadows or wrinkles on green screen. Now, happily, this is just a very solid green screen, but all the principles applies to home filming. So if you're gonna go home, buy a green piece of cloth and do filming, absolutely you can do that. Sometimes you can do some of the best shots as simple as that. But avoid the wrinkles on the cloth, or get thick cloths. Avoid shadows and wrinkles. Avoid dirt and stains. That's why we keep saying that keep here clean. Okay. Now we have, so let's say you're ready to do, everything is ready to do the filming, okay? And you are visual effects supervisor. I've been visual effects supervisor for many years. I've been paid to be on filming scene and talk to the camera crew and also collect data. That's our job. So what I need is the chrome ball. Can you go and bring? Yeah, you can. First and most important data you collect is the focal length. So you guys, what is the focal length here?
The focal length
of the lens, yes. Yes, read it. Which is 105. Yes. So we record focal length there. So, but this is not a VFX shot. For that shot is very important. So because that's our VFX shot. For the non-VFX shots, you don't care. You just sit aside, have your coffee, and chat with people in the filming. But for the VFX shots, you should be very active. What's the focal length here? So it's 24 for here. So you see, oh no, it's actually we are 35. Yes, 35. So we record that. So the moment that you want to do the tracking, well, you don't do tracking, but you should know that the focal length is the most important because. So for the, let's say VFX shots, so one of your shots is that. So let's say your actor walks in front of green screen and then you replace the background with like a CGI background. You have to put a camera in Maya for rendering it. What is the focal length of that camera? Is that focal length that is in front of the for the actor. So record the focal length. So you keep writing it. Know the sensor size. The sensor size for this camera is 36 by 24 millimeter. Okay. Thank you so much, Leslie. Can you open it as well? So collect light sampling data. Well, you are very on time. So how you collect light sampling data as a visual effects guy, not this semester, from next semester, I think, yeah, that's one here. You work with gray or chrome balls. Gray balls collect. So let's say when I hold this, you can say that in this scene. So let's say this is a filming session. Everybody is ready for filming. They say action. They take their file, their shot, but they by looking at the gray. So this is 18% gray ball, let's say gray hue or color. So this is as close to the human skin tone, well, white human. In cinema, when they say human, there's no diversity, you know that, which is, it means like I'm not a human. So like this is an 18%. You know, which is close to the white human skin tone. Well, but it's good for understanding the light. So that's why you just, before the cameras are off or the lights are off, you as a visual effects supervisor jump into the scene, collect the lens data. But this is just for information, because if a monster should be here, so by looking at this, you know that the shadow on the monster should be on the belly of the monster, and there should be 3 lights casting on the head of the monster by looking at this. But the most important thing that makes your life super, super easy is a chrome ball, which is a literate. So you literally sample the light, the whole scene. So the chrome ball, this is a cinema grade chrome ball. So we paid lots of money for both of them. So here, so let's say you ask your assistant to take not just a photo, but a bracketing photo of this. So they take like 3 stops or 4 stops overexposed, 4 stops underexposed, and then you combine them and make this as a HDR file. If you download and use HDR, so for this semester we just steal HDR, or we just download HDR from online sources that is similar to your filming session. But for next semester, from next semester onward, you will make your own HDR photos, and this is the way to do it. So that's the second thing. Well, the third thing in your list: collect chrome and gray ball data, collect texture data. That's what we're going to do with that camera over there. So he want to jump in and break the ball over there. So I will take a couple of photos. So I don't say that, okay, that's enough, the camera has recorded the background and go away. No, you go around and take the texture of the ball and everything. So you just collect lots of textures. Those textures are used. Filming location layout, you record that. So let's say you just like on a piece of your notebook, you write the actor was here, the light was there. So you just draw a map and a layout, and just because it gives a good understanding of the situation, measure the distances. I always have this like laser measure devices to say that, okay, from the camera to the actor is just 2 meters. So these measurements help you. Not this semester again. Be aware of required tracking data. So there's no tracking happening this semester. So but you should. But if there would have been, let's say from next year onward, you should be aware of tracking data. So if there's no data, you put markers, but only if needed. Not, you don't populate the scene with markers. Static, as I said, static shots don't need markers, so we don't need markers this semester. Control motion blur by closing aperture and higher shutter speeds. So on your cameras, so the aperture is the hole in front of the lens that controls the amount of light comes and reaches to the sensor. The closer it gets, the less motion blur you see. What is motion blur? My hand is very clear, but when I move it, it's faded away. So that's motion blur. So that motion blur is really hard to deal with in visual effects in front of green screen. So we can add it later on if needed. But for removing the green screen, so you need a sharp image. So you control that by closing that hole or increasing the shutter speed. If you don't know what is shutter speed or what is the aperture, there's a video on week 2 that says what is a camera. Watch that. So that's it all for today. We get ready for the filming. So we set all the cameras, make sure that ISO is 800. And then we make sure that the aperture and the shutter speed on all of them are the same too. Okay? You can turn that up? Okay. So when you press ISO here, you can see the ISO here. And it's auto now. I just press one more time. So this is ISO. And I go to 800. It's a bit dark, so then I start opening. So where's the? Okay, so not that. Sorry. So the info button, that one, shows the info here. So the ISO is 800, but when I press this like gently, I can see that it's underexposed. It should be in the middle, which is the right exposure. Okay, so but the lens is open, so the aperture is 4. The shutter speed is 800, which is crazy. I rotate. So the shutter speed we're looking at is something around 50. Okay, so now you see that we are overexposed. So this gives us a good chance to close the. So I record that how to change the aperture. So just this is 5D Mark II. So you just turn off the display view. Then if you don't see this menu here, you just turn on the info. You just see that. Press here. Slightly hard, and then you see, it just jumps onto. This is shutter speed. Move to the aperture, then change the aperture to something like 8. Okay. So then when we go back, you see that it's shutter speed is 50, aperture is 8, and if I press gently, it's kind of a bit underexposed, but it's fine for us. So shutter speed 50, aperture 8, and ISO 800. So that's what we apply for all cameras, okay? But for the one that is outside, the lighting condition is different. So we might do another thing, another adjustment for that. But very important thing is we have to make sure that they are in focus. So one way of automatic focusing is, so you turn the automatic, so this is, here you see that on the lens, it's on manual focus, but I put it on automatic. If you stand on the on your cue point, you as well. So here I have this like focus kind of guide that I can move to his face and gently, so I press so I don't take a photo. If you just hardly press, you take a photo, you know. You don't want to take a photo. You gently focus, and then you see that it starts like playing around. So it doesn't do anything now. It's on. What I can do, actually it's in focus, so that's why it doesn't do anything. But you will, if you gently press that, it goes green and says, oh, it's in focus, which you make sure that it's focused. But before you start filming, make sure that you turn off the automatic focus and go back to the manual. You don't want it to like function on its own. You tell me first.
I guess that's when you take the first shots, or
It's why. It's in the beginning of each movie, it's so cool, you just do that, but why? Why?
So they know which scene they've shot.
Well, that's one thing. It gives information, but why we need this?
Oh, I don't know. Everything clicks.
Everything clicks. That's a good point. Yes. To do what?
so they know when to start, when the shot starts.
Why they should know when the shot starts? That's the yes. It's about synchronizing the sound. So as you see here, we have. You're gonna record your sound separately, but for not for the movie, but like for many situations, we have sound recorders. So this is a professional sound recorder. It's called Zoom H4n, and the sound recording artist uses that as a recording. So they hold it, and it gets connected to a cable, a very thick cable. That cable goes to the boom, and boom reaches to there, like high up, and then so someone is just recording their voice. But it's getting recorded in a separate file than that. How editor knows that? How this should be synchronized at the same time. So they listen to this click. So when this happens in the sound waveform, you see one line on there. So then they synchronize the moment of this hit on the image with that like bump into the in the audio waveform. That's called synchronization. So two things. One, collecting data. So you will write, this is shot 1, 2, 3 all together. But I think that's for the moment is enough. This is take 1 because we might go for, so shot 2, 1, 2, 3, take 1. Because, so then who's the director, who's the cameraman or woman, and what's the date of today, the name of the production. So we collect all these data and we synchronize it while we're collecting. So it's always good to have a clapperboard at the beginning of your shots, because you know when you have like loads of shots, imagine a TV show, it's hundreds of shots per day. So you need metadata, okay? So you just go and record it. So I'm gonna imagine that there's a wall here, and he's gonna. I'm so sorry. He's gonna like act in a way that he's breaking this wall, this imaginary wall, and then I will take a texture from here and paint here, and here becomes the wall. Okay? So that's why I just move this camera back a bit. So I think we're good. You should come out of the shot. Sorry about that. Okay. So you get inside. Cameras on, please. Cameras are on. Read it, please.
Shot 4, take 1.
Break the wall and jump outside. Okay, we do it one more time. It's good to jump out with, just like a good kick. So can you move that TV away? I think we're good now. Okay. I'm going to go wider, actually. Give me a second for focusing. So for focusing, you remember I've zoomed in, make sure everything is in focus, zoom back. Okay, I think I'm ready. This is a static shot. I make sure that the camera is secured. Recording, camera on, sounds on. Read it, please.
Shot 4, take 2.
And action. Well, that was nice. I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much. Oh, and take the texture. So for the texture, I take a photo of it. I might record a video just in case. Is this on video? Yeah, I might record a video. But what I really need is a good data on the texture, which I would go like this. I want to have the information, which so I'm going to use this piece of wall to repeat that place. Let me take some photos here, just in case.